If I told you this was all shot on a kit lens, would you believe me? In the filmmaking world, kit lenses are usually for beginners and people just getting into cameras, and they usually get thrown away as soon as you upgrade and get a new lens. You usually hear things like, it's too slow, it's not sharp enough, and it hasn't got enough depth to be cinematic. But if you ask me, that mindset stops a lot of people from actually starting and actually going out and buying a camera because they're scared of using a kit lens, and they'd rather get a camera with a lens that's widely accepted. I think it's time we change that. The lens we're going to be talking about today is the LUMIX S 20-60 f3.5 to 5.6. You get a lot of versatility with this lens because of the fact that it's 20-60. You would use 20mm to kind of establish a shot, and you can use a 60 to get a more tight close-up shot. It's very lightweight and easy to travel with, making it a good lens to carry with you, and it doesn't take up much space. So if you're just starting out with cameras and want to just go out and get familiar with a camera with a lens that isn't too heavy, this is the perfect lens for you. It makes it great for run and gunning, documentary and BTS style video. Now that I've got the specifics out of the way, I wanted to talk to you guys about the person behind the lens. Gear helps, but ultimately it's about your creativity, your framing, composition and lighting. That's ultimately what brings together something to look cinematic. I've had a ton of times where people tell me, oh yeah, I'm waiting so I can save up to get an anamorphic lens because it has that cinematic look. Or I've even heard, oh, I'm waiting to get this 24 to 100mm lens, but it's £1,000, it's quite expensive. This is why my work ain't looking the best. Like, nah bro, it's just you. It doesn't matter what you do. A £3,000 lens won't save a boring shot. It's not gonna save a shot that's overexposed. It's not gonna save a shot that's poorly framed. It doesn't matter how much you spend on a lens, how much you spend on a camera. If the person behind the camera doesn't know what they're doing, all your efforts will be futile. It just doesn't matter. Here I'm gonna have two shots side by side, one that's poorly framed or the exposure's off. I'm not sure really what's gonna be on the screen, but there's gonna be a bad example and a good example, and you're gonna see that it's the same exact lens, the same exact camera, and the same exact person behind the camera. You know what I'm saying? So it's really not about what gear you have and what camera you have. It's about what you know and how you apply it. Linking back to what I was saying about what you know and not what you have, shooting in Vlog or S-Log if you have a Sony, or just any raw format, is the best way to go because it gives you more control in post when it comes time for you to color grade. If you shoot auto with your camera, stop. Just stop. Don't shoot in auto, bro. It's not good. You're losing so much information that you could have control of. Like, you probably seen something online and you've been like, damn, that looks crazy. Why can't I get that when I film? If you're shooting at auto, that's the first step right there. You gotta stop shooting on auto, you gotta shoot in raw, bro. Me shooting in Vlog allows me to have that control in post for me to color grade and make it look how I want it to be in terms of colors. Whether that's true to real world colors, whether that's a bit stylistic with some, I don't know, orangey tint or blue tint. The controls with me. I have all control and I can do what I want. And I feel like that's a big tip for upcoming filmmakers. Most videographers that I know of chase low f-stops for that creamy bokeh, but to be honest, a deeper depth of field can tell a different story. And you know, I feel like we live in an age where someone can be like, this lens is crazy, everyone should get this lens, and then everyone in the whole community will go and grab that lens, and it kind of takes away from the creativity aspect of filming, you know. And I feel like this kit lens perfectly shows that. You're probably seeing examples on the screen right now, and I feel like these shots wouldn't look the way they do without the high f-stop, because it's showing off the whole environment, you know. We ended up going to London Bridge, and it was about 5-6 a.m. and I feel like if I had a lens with a low f-stop, it would have told a completely different story. Up till now, I've been saying all the good things about a kit lens, and this kit lens in particular, but I wanted to be honest in this segment. The low light capabilities of this lens are just not good at all. For you to do well in low light with this lens in particular, because of the high f-stop, you need good lighting and a good ND filter. I do recommend having a softbox with you in low light situations, or a spotlight if you can, maybe a LED light. Any light goes a long way, but I do recommend a softbox light. The ND filter I do recommend is any true color ND. I've only ever had one true color ND, and I only got that like last week. But it was the newer true color ND filter, and boy does that do a good job. Another drawback to this kit lens is that it doesn't have the same compression and depth of field as prime lenses. This is the LUMIX S, so it's not even a proper prime lens for the LUMIX. That being said, all those drawbacks actually taught me more about filmmaking. It made me think more about lighting. It made me think more about my framing, because it wasn't your traditional wide angle lens, and it wasn't a super close-up lens, so I had to think about my framing a lot more. And another thing about this lens that was really beneficial to me, but can be seen as a drawback, is when you zoom in, the f-stop actually goes up by itself, which is really annoying. I found that really annoying at first, but it forced me to monitor the settings on my actual camera, and that made me a better videographer and filmmaker in general. So I know that a lot of people would say that it's a drawback, but for me, it was a superpower. So I just wanted to tie that into the fact that me using this kit lens and learning more about how to monitor settings, and just my introduction to having my first cinema camera, it got me a lot of opportunities. I actually worked with a ton of clients. I can't even think to imagine how much money I've made with this kit lens. I only just got new lenses about 4 days ago. There's gonna be videos about that coming very, very soon. But yeah, up until this point, which I think it's been about 7 months of me having this camera, probably less. But I've had a plethora of clients, you know. I've made upwards of about 1,500 plus. I've made the money I spent on the camera and the lens plus more profit in that time with a kit lens. So don't be scared to use a kit lens, man. This video, for me, I really wanted to make this for people that want to get into filmmaking, and then they see that the camera comes with a kit lens and they're like, damn, like, no, I can't use the kit lens, I need another lens. And then they save that extra £1,000, when in reality you could get the camera with the kit lens, make your money, and then get that lens, and you're actually learning in that time. So all of these examples you're seeing was shot on my kit lens, and that's literally proof for you that you can get paid clients using a kit lens. It literally goes against what anyone will tell you. I know, because when I started out and I would type in, oh, kit lens is good, all I saw was, it's trash, don't use a kit lens, don't use a kit lens. It's like the propaganda's real, guys. But here you go, like all of these examples shot on a kit lens. To end things off, if all you can afford is a LUMIX S5IIX or S5IIX, or a Sony A7 III, a Sony A7S III, whatever camera, if all you can afford is that camera with a kit lens, just buy it. You'll learn as you go. You know, you'll still land clients if you're building on your skills, learning how to color grade properly, learning how to frame properly, making sure your composition is at a high level. That's the most important part. It's the person behind the camera, not the gear you have. And one more thing, a camera in your hands is better than a camera in a wish list, or a lens in a wish list. You know, it's all good fun and games looking at cameras and going on Amazon and saying, oh, I really want this camera and but when are you actually gonna buy it, bro? I know that having a kit lens with the camera is putting you off. Don't be put off. I've literally shown you all the proof you need in this video. If this inspired you, please leave a like, comment and subscribe. It really goes a long way and it helps with the algorithm. I think about like 30% of you are not subscribed, or probably more. I don't know, I'm gonna put it up on the screen now. But I'd really appreciate if you could just take the time out to subscribe, because you know, I'm just starting out my career on YouTube, and it really goes a long way. I really appreciate all of you as well. Also, let me know what kit lens you're thinking of using, because I'm thinking of making this a series. If I can, if I have the means. You know, I'm just starting out on YouTube. I don't have the most money, but I'm trying to also secure sponsorships. So guys, please man, subscribe please. Alright, I'm gonna stop begging now. But hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time. Peace.